Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasetravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samutthidam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam. Hey Krishna Samrakshamam. Please to Narayan. Welcome to all. We'll start with Sloka 46 in chapter 2. Can you see Sloka 46?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Please chant. Yavanarda udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Let's chant together. So, Lord Krishna explained in the previous slokas that Vedas contain how to perform the karma karmas as well, right? So it talks about karma karmas. Karma karmas are the activities that are done to satisfy our desires. So Lord Krishna explained that yes, Vedas contain those as well. However, in this sloka, Lord Krishna is saying, after saying that, there are activities in Vedas to satisfy our desires. Now, he told Arjuna that in sloka 45, he said, be detached from the three gunas, be established in pure sattva, and be free from pair of opposite, and be indifferent to niryoga kshemaha. So be indifferent to fresh acquisitions, and trying to safeguard what is acquired, and also atmavan bhava. So become one who is marked by self-control, who is eager for self-realization. So here he's talking about, hey Arjuna, become one who is focused on yourself rather than trying to do, the activities for the sake of satisfying your desires, right? So there are two things: either you do the activities for the sake of satisfying your desires, or you be focused on Atma and do your duties. Duties are different from the activities that are done with desires in mind, right? Of course, nowadays we think, oh, it's my duty to satisfy my desires, that unfortunate thing. But those two are two separate things, So Lord Krishna is saying, hey, you have to focus on the self, not on those activities which are given in Vedas, which are uh, towards satisfying the desires, towards taking care of your body, and trying to satisfy your desires in this world. So then immediately a question will come, why even Vedas mention that, right? So we discussed last week. So Vedas have given those And because Lord Krishna is explaining in this current sloka, Yavan ardhaha udapane sarvataha samplutodake. Okay. Um, Samplutodake udapane is um, a reservoir filled with water, reservoir or a river or a lake filled with water, right? Yavan ardhaha sarvataha samplutodake. As much as there is use for water in the reservoir that is filled with water everywhere, right? So um, as much as there is use means, there is the reservoir that is full of water. Okay, let us say I'm thirsty. Will I be just because the river is full of water? Will I be able to drink everything? No, right? Just because it is full of water, I don't drink everything. Or that the reservoir or the river has, apart from water, there's a lot of other, you know, fish or other creatures, plants, and some dirt and everything, right? So just because it is there in that river, and I am uh, going to utilize that river for satisfying my desires, I don't consume everything. I only take the amount of water that is suitable for me, right? Whatever I need, I will take, right? Um, so, um, and then Lord Krishna is saying, Tavan ardhaha sarveshu vedeshu vijanataha brahmanasya bhavati. So, Tavan ardhaha, only that much is the use sarveshu vedeshu, in all the Vedas. For who? Brahmanasya vijanataha, to a Vedic practitioner. Brahmanasya is a Vedic practitioner, not a caste, Brahmana caste or a race. So for a Vedic practitioner, Vijanata, who is a wise, learned person, having the knowledge of the self, all the Vedas are of the same use, just like the water in a reservoir. So this reserve. So here, Lord Krishna is comparing the uh, reservoir with Vedas, right? So for a person who is drinking water, he will only drink as he will go to a place where there is clean water and drink as much as water he wants, right? Just because there are other things in that reservoir or river, he will not go and take them. Same way, this person who is learned, a person who is having the knowledge of the self, who is a Vedic practitioner, when he goes to Vedas, he will try to take whatever is needed, whatever is useful for that person, based on his, whatever is useful, he will take it. Okay. So for a person who is focused on the self, he will not be focusing on the kamya karmas that are given in the Vedas. For a person who is um, who is interested in kamya karmas, will go and pick that up. Like for example, in that river, you know, uh, human beings, they drink water from a particular place where there is clean. But if you like leave some animals, right? The animals can go and just drink water wherever they can, right? They don't look for, oh, is it clean, or is somebody washing clothes here, or somebody did something in this, is it muddy? And they don't care. They'll just simply go and drink water. Whatever is useful for them. Again, every animal may have a preference where they want to drink the water from in the reservoir. So whichever and whatever is useful for that being, they will take from the reservoir. Same way, whatever is useful for me, I will take that from the Vedas. It doesn't just because Vedas contain everything, uh, it doesn't mean that I should be going and practicing everything that is in the Vedas. Okay, so that answers the question that I think some of us may have, that why even mention in the Vedas. So the as we discussed, right, like not every human being is at the same level. Okay, some are at a very high level. They're only focused on the self or Atma, or some who are focused only on Paramatma. There are other people who are in the middle layer. They are interested in satisfying desires through the means of Paramatma. So they will pray to God in a particular way, and they want to satisfy the desires. And so for them, also it is given. The procedure is, the activities are given in Vedas. So if that was not there, if Vedas contained only the information about Atma and Paramatma, then all the people who are, Rajasic and Tamasic, they will be left with no qualified knowledge to practice and move up. See, there are all these practices will make them move up, right? So if there is no prescribed practice for Rajasic or Tamasic person, they will be doomed forever. There is no way for them to move up, because when they look at information in Vedas that talk only about Atma and Paramatma, they will not be interested. So they will simply close the book, and or will not even listen to somebody who is preaching Vedas or teaching Vedas, and then they will do whatever they want. So where is the chance for them to improve? So to cater for all the different types of people, information is provided in Vedas, so that they can practice them. But for a person like Arjuna, or people like us, Lord Krishna is saying that you focus on the information that is given in the Vedas related to knowledge of the self or Paramatma as an extension. So you don't try to focus on satisfying your desires only. Got it? Any questions on that?
So Vedas has, I think, in last time I explained, right, the Trigunya. So it has material related to Sattva, Tamas, and Rajigunas, right? I think so. So it has both good and bad kind of a thing. I mean, the Vedas, but I thought that Vedas are usually.
No, there is nothing good and bad, good or bad.
Okay.
So there is no bad activity. These are the duties that are suitable for people of different gunas. Okay, so Sattva guna, Raja guna, and Tama guna. The activities that a sattvic person would like to do, right, is mentioned there. Activities that a Rajasic person would want to do is mentioned there. So, and the same as Tamasic, right? In how to satisfy their desires. Each person has their own desires. We'll go into more details about these gunas and what would they be attached to, right? So, so when they want to satisfy their own desires, how they want to live, right? Um, satisfying those desires, they can go to Vedas and find information related to how they can do it, right?
If I may interrupt over here, just trying to answer Badri's question. Is like, Vedas are just defining what the nature of each one of them is: sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. And what it is at the end of the day, is for the person to distill what he wants to do, having known that these are the behaviors, which is the path that he wants to follow. So it's a guidance, it's definition, but not a prescription that you do this or you do that. I think that's the way I understand, and that really sort of melds very well in what uh, uh, he's saying, that Varaprasad ji is saying that what it is these are the things in the well or in the river, and there is the water, but there are so many other things that are there. But it's up to the person who has the thirst to quench his thirst and not pay attention to the other extraneous things. So that's my understanding. That's how I put it together.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we say that be focused only on Atma, then we have the these yajnas, yagas that people do to satisfy their desires. For example, Dasharatha did the yaga to get son, right? So there, that is also there. So I mean, to satisfy the desire of having offspring, there are activities mentioned in Vedas, and you practice according to that, then you'll be able to satisfy. Okay, so we cannot expect everyone to be simply happy, even if they don't have any offspring, right? Even if they don't have children, even if they don't have health, even if they don't have wealth, we can't expect normal, all of us to be just focus on Atma and don't care about anything else, about family or money or health or wealth, peace, prosperity, all these things, right? We need those things. So how do we get them is also listed there, right? We can practice them, but that is not the uh, primary purpose for us. There is a primary purpose that is to focus on our Atma. I mean, focus on ourselves and then reach a higher stage. But in order to do that, we need health. In order to do that, we need money, right? So we need to satisfy those basic minimum things. Yes, for that we should practice whatever is there given in Vedas. So there's nothing wrong with that. But uh, just if let us say I want to earn $1 million, and then let me just find out how to get money, in Vedas, and that's the only thing that I focus on, and that's what I want to get. Yes, you will get it, but you will have the karmic bondage. That's what Lord Krishna said. So yes, it is also there. So I mean, not like $1 million. What I'm saying is to get money. How do we get money?
Like Ravana did tapas, right? I'm sure in Vedas might have written there. If you do tapas, and I think Lord Shiva, you can pray. I'm sure so. It's written somewhere for him, right? I mean, right? Or who did tapas, right? Ravana. I'm just giving an example, but I think right. It's written. Oh, if you do this tapas for 100 years, just sit, right? And yeah, I mean, Lord Shiva might come basically, right? I think, yeah. So it's there somewhere, right? I think somewhere is written, right? Whether it's good or bad. Right.
Yeah, so he used it for a purpose that is not focused on self.
Yeah, exactly.
But Dasharatha, I mean, that was a good purpose, right? So for him, so what is the purpose for which we are trying to satisfy our desires? Is also important there. So yeah, so I mean, this is for those who want to, who question that why Vedas even mention about satisfying the desires. Why we do the yaga to get rains, to get money. For example, we did Sri Yagam in 2010. when there is a lot of recession going on in US and all around the world. We did Sri Yagam in New Jersey. That was according to Vedic scriptures, and perfectly according to Vedic scriptures. Sri Swamiji, guided all of us. Sri Swamiji came here, and 2009, about 1 year, 3 months, 1 year, 6 months before the actual Yagam, the activity started with Sri Mantram that is given in the scriptures, and a lot of us started chanting. So in 2009, it was really bad. We were losing, I have the statistics, we were losing 400,000 jobs per month. So then politicians were trying to do various things, on how to fix the problem and all that. Nothing was working, right? So at that moment, there is a video which says that we do Sri Yagam as per the scriptures. So Sri Swamiji was talking several months before the actual Yagam. We will be able to address this problem. We follow what is there. We have to pray to Paramatma. There's nothing that Paramatma cannot give to us. Follow the scriptures and do it. Not like, oh, I think of some procedure and I'll let me do it.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why it is given. It is mentioned in the scripture. So for 1 year, more than 1 year, the activities were done. 2010, July 20th to August 1st, the Sri Yagam was conducted. All through 2009, early 2010, we were losing jobs. 2010 October onwards, you can go back and check. 2010 October onwards, there is job growth in US continuously for several years. Only till recently, till pandemic hit, till that time there was no stopping, right? And nothing miracle happened other than, if okay, suddenly some diamonds fell from the sky, and then everybody started getting jobs. No, nothing happened that we can think of, we can see. Then how is that suddenly in October we started having job gain, and that too several hundreds of thousands of jobs were getting created every month. I mean, we tried to see, is there any policy that was implemented, like some stimulus package? Nothing that was of any significance that happened. And still October onwards, there was job growth. So so that is the power of our scriptures, and it is a karma karma. We are doing that to for the peace and prosperity in the world, to satisfy the desires of people to get jobs, to get wealth in the sense, not like rich, but having not having financial problems. That has nothing to do with Atma, right? So it is a karma karma only. However, if we don't have jobs, if we don't have money, if we don't have food to eat, how can you expect people to focus on Atma? If you are hungry, you cannot focus on Atma. So that is why, yes, you have to, you should be able to satisfy your desires for fulfilling your needs. Follow the scriptures. Do that with focus on Paramatma. Try to pray to Paramatma. Don't invent your own procedure and say, somebody may say, okay, you pray to me, and then suddenly all the wealth will get created. That would be wrong, right? So that is the reason why the karma activities are given, and even the people who are practicing Vedas, Vedic practitioners, use them. I mean, there's nothing wrong in using for that purpose. And again, as Badrigar mentioned, we shouldn't use it for like Ravanasura. I want to satisfy my ego. I want to be the most powerful person. I should rule the entire world. And then use the scriptures for that purpose. Then there is of no use. It will destroy, just like how Ravana got destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, like you brought up a good point, right? I completely missed actually. Chapter 15, I think it's talking about scriptures, right? You'll say follow scriptures, follow. That's what you keep on repeating that, right? Yeah, exactly. So scriptures kind of a thing. Even Lord Krishna says that, right? I think,
Yes. Yeah, whatever you want, follow the scriptures.
follow scriptures, that's what he says, right? It is
Yeah.
there.
Right. And focus on Atma. Satisfy your desires, but desire is not your focus. Desire means desire to have health, financial stability. Those are the needs of us to live. No problem. Satisfy them and focus on your goal, that is Atma.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. We'll chant Sloka 47. Sloka 47. You can see Sloka 47.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
मा फलेषु कदाचन
मा फलेषु कदाचन
मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः
मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः
मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
माते संगोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
chant together.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
मा
फलेषु
कदाचन
मा
कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः
माते संगोऽस्त्वकर्मणि
कर्मणि. One of the very, very important slokas in the entire Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Krishna is saying, Karmani eva adhikaraha te. Karmani eva adhikaraste. Karmani eva adhikaraha te. So there is right, adhikaraha, there is right to you in work alone. Okay. There is right to you in work alone. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Never in the fruits or results. Phaleshu, phala means fruit. I mean, fruits of the work, which is a result, right? So, ma phaleshu kadachana, never in the fruits. So, there is no right to us in the fruits of the work or results of the work. Okay. Karma phala hetuhu ma bhuhu. Ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. Do not become the cause of the work. Karma hetuhu, cause of the work. Phala hetuhu, cause of the result. Do not become. Ma bhuhu means do not become, or do not regard yourself as karma hetuhu and phala hetuhu, as cause of the work and result of the work. Sorry, cause of the result. Okay. Mate sangaha astu akarmani. Let there be no attachment. Ma sangaha, no attachment. Ma astu. Sangha astu is no attachment. In what? Akarmani. In inaction. Okay. Karma is action. Akarma is inaction. Akarmani is in inaction. So mate sangaha akarmani mastu. Sorry, I said already ma in the beginning. So mate sangaha akarmani astu means let there be no attachment in inaction to you. Okay, so very, very key basic foundation for us. We think that when we do the work, whatever result we get, I have the right to the result. That's the first thing that comes to us. I did the work, so I have the right to enjoy that result. I have the right to claim that this result is mine. No, that is a adhikara, right? I'm claiming like this house belongs to me. I have the right to use it as I want. This car belongs to me. So I, I own it. I use it. I own it. I purchased with my money, and I can use it whatever way I want, right? So that is the right to that particular object, right to. So we think that we have the right to the results. Okay, and Lord Krishna is very clearly telling us that we do not have the right to the results. We have the right to do the work alone, work only. Okay. And Lord Krishna is very clearly saying, do not regard yourself as a cause of the work. Okay. I did this work. Because of me, this work is done. Right? I'm the cause. Okay. When I do any activity, I did the activity. That is means I am the cause for the activity. If I have not done it, the work wouldn't have been done. Right? So the cause for the work is me. That is what we think. So Lord Krishna is saying, do not regard yourself as cause of the work. And Lord Krishna is saying, do not regard yourself as the cause of the result. Because of me, the result has come. Okay. So I did the work, and because of me, the result has come. And I have ownership of the result. I can enjoy the result because I own it, I got it. I can enjoy it as if it is mine, my own. And he's saying, Lord Krishna is saying that. So if let us say if I just stop there, then people will say, okay, then if I cannot claim that I am not the cause of. See, if I cannot claim that I am the cause of the work, I cannot claim that I am the reason for the result. I cannot claim that I have the right to the results. Then why should I do the work? Right? That is what we think. So immediately Lord Krishna is saying, let there be no attachment in inaction. So don't get attached to inaction. That means don't just simply say, okay, I don't want to do it. Okay, for two reasons. One is, action. I explained just now. So I cannot claim the result as my own. I have the right to the result. All that. So that is one reason that if I cannot do it, then I will not do the activity itself. So that is inaction. Second is, I just want to give up everything. like Arjuna, right? So he said, okay, if I do this activity, that activity, I I may get sin, I may get into trouble, I may have, I may cause problem for others, and all this. We may think of what is going to happen when we do the activity, right? The results. So we analyze the result and say, oh, the results are, not favorable, beneficial for me. So I do not want to do my duty. Okay. So that also is in action. Now, so what Lord Krishna is saying is, do not attach yourself to inaction. That means you have to do the activity. You must do the activity. You have the right only to your activity, not to the fruits. And do not regard yourself as the reason for the work or cause of the work. And do not regard yourself as the reason for the result. And with that intention, you do the work.
Sir, where is it? In maybe it's not in this shloka, it'll come later, that you are not the cause of the work, or you are not the cause of the fruit. I mean, it can be interpreted that way, but I had not read it earlier like
Ma
that. So,
karma palaha, right? Sorry.
ma karma phal hetu.
Ma karma phala hetuhu is there here, right? So karma phala hetuhu. So karma phala is like a dual word, right? So karma hetuhu, phala hetuhu. You have to say.
It's karma
So
phala hetu, right? Karma phal
right,
means the fruit of work.
right. So karma hetu also, like karma hetu and phala hetu. So instead of saying karma hetuhu, phala hetuhu, he said karma phala hetuhu. Right? So phala is because of karma only, right? But so just taking karma phala hetu means only, okay, do not regard yourself as a cause of the result of the work. We can, if you do it that way, that is one interpretation. But the correct interpretation is based on the the context and also based on the Sanskrit rules. So we have the karma phala hetuhu is interpreted as karma hetuhu and phala hetuhu. Phala is because of the karma. Now there is a um, we think that my activity gave me the result, right? So the result is because of the activity. That is what we typically think. But the result is not because of purely because of the activity. We may do with all good intentions, with 100% effort. The result may not be what we want. And the result, sometimes result is good, sometimes the result is not good. So if result is because of the activity, then why would the result differ? If I do activity X, I should always get the same result if result is always linked to the activity. So the result is not linked to our activity. So we cannot treat. And one more thing is that this is a very deep concept. It is explained in several slokas, in several chapters. I'm feeling hungry. Okay, I'm feeling hungry. Who is feeling hungry here?
The body is.
Body, not you. Right? So we are not the cause for feeling hungry. Atma is not the cause for feeling hungry. Body, because of its nature, because how it is built, that is feeling hungry. So we should not be thinking that I am feeling hungry. So that is, I am the cause for hunger. No, the body is the cause for hunger because of the body's nature. Okay, so I am not the cause. So we have to separate ourselves from the body. This sloka, even though it is, I mean, it is saying how practically we have to see, but because we have the Atma Jnana, right? It is that's why he gave the Atma Jnana first. So when I am not the cause of the activity. Atma is not the is doesn't need to feel hunger, doesn't feel hunger, right? So then what happens is we will be able to control ourselves. Like we think somebody is just somebody criticizes us, for example, right? Think I am being criticized, and we take it on ourselves, and then we react, right? It is not for us. We have to separate ourselves from the body. The body is being is the one that is impacted. It could be physical, it could be whatever we hear, whatever we feel, all that is happening to the body. I am not the reason why the body is feeling that way. This is not for me. Then immediately we will stop whatever we are thinking that we should do. The Of course, if we are feeling hungry, um, we will we'll have to eat. That's fine, right? But I am feeling hungry because of this person, didn't feed me, and I create that kind of hatred and all that. I'm getting attached to that feeling myself. I am the cause. I am the, you know, I am the reason why I'm feeling hungry. Okay, and then I need to take action. I'm getting so then I get attached to it. We should separate from it. I am not the cause for this. My body is reacting. My body is feeling this way, right? So then immediately we'll say, okay, it is only temporary. We learned those slokas before, right? All the whatever we are facing, Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, all these are temporary in nature, not for will not be permanently with us. If we are attaching ourselves to that, they will still not be permanently with us. However, we get karmic bondage. That is where the problem is. So we should think that I am not the cause. The gunas are the cause. So when we go into the future and future slokas, we'll learn that whatever I am experiencing, that is because of the gunas. My body is reacting to the whatever experiences that it is having when it is when it is combining with the gunas in the nature, right? Because of those gunas, I am impacted by it and I am reacting to it. Okay, so but I am not the one who is doing the action, right? So then we will detach ourselves from that action. So I'm not the cause for the action. Now I'm not the cause for the result also, because in order to get result, there are several factors that are involved. Again, 18th chapter, Lord Krishna gives very big list. Okay, first of all, Paramatma. Without Paramatma providing us energy, providing us, supporting us within and outside us, not just us, all beings in this universe, we will not be able to get any result, right? Paramatma. And then the nature, nature is another reason why we would, we would get the results. Nature again is supported by Paramatma. Then our body is doing the work, not us. So our body is the reason why we are able to do the work and get the result. So how can we claim that that result is ours, mine, that as Atma? Even if I say, okay, result is because of body, but still body cannot claim 100% ownership on the result, right? So entire nature has helped us, and other people, other animals, other beings have helped us in performing our activities. And then the result is obtained, whatever is the result. So how can I claim that I am the sole reason why the result has come? Right? So first of all, the result is not because of Atma at all. It's because of a body or Paramatma. That's all we should. So that's why he's saying that do not regard yourself as the cause for the result or why the result has come, the reason for the result. So when there is a result, I mean, typically we say, oh, I did so well, right? Because of me, the result has come, we get overboard. Or the result is not good, then we say, I messed it up completely. Because of me alone, something has happened, right? The result is not because of you. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. You have the duty to do the work. What is the result? You have no right. You have no right to claim that I did, I worked for 8 hours, I need to get $80, right? You have no right to claim that. You may get 80, you may get 20, you may get 200, whatever it is. Somebody did operation, right? Example. I have the duty to do the operation. Doctor does operation. I have the duty to do the operation only. The result, I cannot say just because I did the operation, it has to be successful. How can it fail? I cannot say that because I have no right to the result. If I have the right to the results, I should say, I did this work, the result should be whatever I say, right? That's what is have the right to the result. If I, for example, if I work in an organization for a month, whatever is the salary, I have the right to the salary. I can go to court if somebody doesn't give me salary, right? That is what we are used to. So we think that applies to everything, right? So unfortunately, that is causing a struggle. We apply to everything. So I do the work and I get the result and I have claim on that result. Like whatever is the result I want should happen. Lord Krishna is saying no such thing. Sorry. Whatever, you do your work. If you are saying that, oh, okay, I cannot claim ownership of the result, rightful rights on the result itself, I don't want to do the duty, nothing doing. You should not do that. You have to do the work. This is a very deep meaning sloka, and should be, even if you practice just this particular sloka alone, it solves so many problems for us. It's one of the basics of Karma Yoga principles. So we have right only to do the work, not to the result. We should not regard ourselves as the cause for the work or cause for the result. And we should not stop doing the activity. We always should do our duties, is the summary of the sloka.
Fourth pada, mate sangostva karma. That means don't abandon the work, right? Don't abandon the work because of these reasons. Or don't run away from the work.
Yeah. Don't get attached to, sangaha is attachment, or don't have the desire to not do the work.
Don't
Attachment or desire.
Okay, don't have desire not to do the work.
Yeah. So perfect example is Arjuna there. He doesn't want
He
to
doesn't
do
want
the
to do the work, right? Doesn't want to. Yeah, he won't.
So because why he doesn't want to do the work is because the result could be something
Doesn't like the
not
result.
what
Yeah.
Doesn't like the
doesn't
result.
like the result.
Yeah.
Right. So he gave several scenarios that would happen if he fights, if he does the work. Same thing for us. If I do the work, this may happen, that may happen, that may happen. And then we stop doing the work. So we have to separate ourselves from the work and the duty. Those are two different things. Okay, duty is different from any work. Okay, so we shouldn't think that, I have to do the work. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. So let me do the work irrespective of what I get. But the work is different from duty. Duty is something that we are supposed to do. Work, we have a choice. Okay, every work will not be duty. Every duty is the work, that's fine. But every work that we think of doing is not our duty. So we impose certain things as our duties unknowingly. So that's why we kind of get into these problems, that not able to differentiate between work and duty.
Can you just give an example? And I know, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Just give an example.
Anything that we do to satisfy our desires
Okay.
is work, not duty. Okay. For example, we want to go and enjoy vacation. Is it duty?
But in a family, you have that responsibility, right? It's not duty, but responsibility, right? You can call it responsibility. Right?
If it is not duty for you, is it duty for your kids or your,
Sort
spouse?
of duty for the family.
It is imposed duty. That's why I'm saying
Fine.
there are certain things that we impose ourselves. For example, somebody says, I have to watch first day, first show, I have to watch. Okay. It is my duty. If I don't watch, then it's something like, I don't know how I will live tomorrow.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You call that duty? No, right? I mean, it's we need to think for a minute. Okay, is it my duty or not my duty? And if most of the things that we do are not our duties, I can say that. Okay, so I have to enjoy. It's an imposed duty. I have to let others enjoy. I mean, let's say family. I have to take them for vacation every 3 months. Let us say that's what they're expecting. So it becomes my duty. Is that? I mean, you're satisfying their expectations. Not. It's not really your duty. Your duty is to make your children follow the Vedic practices. Your duty is to make the children become good citizens of the world, but not the duty to take them to vacation every 3 months, right? So but unfortunately, depending on the family structure and what they are used to, it becomes duty for some people. Like, so they're imposing certain works as their duties. That is where the problem comes. And we are not able to meet that expectation. And also one more thing, the reason why there's clash is somebody will think that it is the duty, somebody will think it is not my duty, and there's a clash on expectation, right? Just for example, if you say, oh, it is my duty to take my kids to vacation every year because that is my duty, and somebody say, and let us say husband says that, but wife says, no, it's not duty. Why spend this money, let us say. So there is a clash now. Unfortunately, that is what typically happens. So if everyone is able to really see what is the duty, I mean, actually we are all born with duties. That's what Lord Krishna said. So what are those duties? Unfortunately, with the changes in time, it has we lost that knowledge completely. That's why we are struggling really to really understand what is a work, what is duty, what is my duty, what should I do in my life, So everyone is born with certain duties. If you just follow the duties, there is no confusion at all. But a lot of people, we are confused what to do in our life. So that causes, a lot of stress. I should become a millionaire. It's my duty. And I'm not able to become because, let us say, I don't have the ability, I don't have the whatever is needed to become a billionaire. I'm not able to, say, for example, I can cheat and become a billionaire. I'm not able to do that. Or I can become a super hero and become a billionaire. I'm not able to do that. So if becoming billionaire is my duty, if I think that way, and I'm not able to become, I get depressed. I'm becoming sad. That is not the duty. That is not the duties that we are born with. So, I mean, as we go along, we will learn more. But we have to separate ourselves, think whether it is my duty or not. Duty is something that you do, whether you like it or don't like it, whether you get good result or bad result. Duty is something that you cannot avoid doing it. You should not stop doing it. If you stop doing it, you're going to acquire karmic bondage.
Sir, I think for duty, it's also because somebody might ask you to do bad things and you might think that's your duty. Right? You may not like doing it, but I think the guidepost here is according to, I think, Vedas and scriptures, what's your duty. And to understand,
So,
like for a common man, right, to understand karmic bondage is difficult, right? But still some moral principles, so I don't know how to say it, right? So for a regular person, according to Vedas, right, they all have to learn that first, right? But if you have to tell someone in a simple language, I'm trying to think, right, how do you tell kids, right, what's their duty versus, somebody just told them, they think it's their duty.
yeah, there are certain basic duties we all understand. For example, kids, they have to study, right? They have to study, or they have to do the activities which will put them in a good path when they grow up. Okay. So those become their duties. Okay. Now, whether they have an iPhone or Android phone or some tablet, some computer, or whether they go for every 3 months vacation, or they watch movies, don't watch movies, we can clearly say that these are not the duties. These are optional things, right? It's not that we should stop doing it. What I'm saying is that we have based on the our age and place in the society. Okay, we have certain duties that everybody knows. It's not that we don't know. Okay, so a student, kid knows what is their duty. Studying is their duty. As a head of the family, our duty is to earn money to feed the family. Okay. As a wife, let us say, certain duties are given to, that is what is our culture, right? There are certain duties that are assigned. It's not that other people should not be doing it, but there are certain, wives do that, like cooking and feeding the family. That is what is the duty that is coming as a culture, right? Again, other people can do it. It's not that they shouldn't do it. Don't take it the other way. But we have certain responsibilities that we definitely know, right? If I'm taking up a job as a soldier, it is my duty to protect. If I'm taking up a job as a teacher, it is my duty to teach, right? So these are the duties. Do your whatever is the task that you are taking, do it with 100% effort, right? So there is no confusion there. I mean, unfortunately, we try to skip the duties and do something else. Like a student doesn't want to study and then want to just enjoy, then it's a problem that we know definitely they're not doing the duty. And as a head of the household, somebody is just partying and then drinking and beating the family members and all that, they're not doing the duty. So there it's called varna ashrama duties. There are other scriptures where it is very, very clearly articulated what are the duties of every age, like a 5-year-old, 10-year-old, 20-year-old, 40-year-old, 70-year-old. It's very clearly given all the duties according to the scriptures. Now, how much of that we are following is a question for us. So Bhagavad Gita doesn't mention those things. It only says that do your duty. What duties you need to do, we have to follow other scriptures, like a reference material. But basic, without going into all the Shrutis and Smritis, all the other scriptures, we know. And if we know, if we study Ramayana is the practical guide for Bhagavad Gita. So if you want to know how to practice the principles that are given in Bhagavad Gita, we have to read and understand Ramayana. That's it. Sufficient. Everything is there in Ramayana with practical examples. What Lord Sri Rama did as a child, as a son, as a husband, as a ruler of the country, all this very, very clearly. He faced dilemmas. He doesn't, should he do this or do that? Everywhere he faced dilemmas. But he followed certain principles that we can say that is the right approach for us to practice. So Ramayana is a great text for us, scripture for us, and that will tell us how to practice these principles. What are our duties? So as a student, if you want to say how to practice a duty, then you have to teach how Lord Sri Rama was following his guru, his father. Just follow what Sri Rama did, and we're good. Okay. We will move on to Sloka 48.
I think the other question Vikas had was, and I'm sure you explained it before, right? Kids, I get it, I think, right? And the other one is the daily wage guy who's just working, right? He doesn't have he may not even study, right? He didn't even the education, right? And so for him, he's focusing. I think that itself is a duty, right? I mean, that who is just doing work, right? The work and duty is pretty much same for that person. That he just earns money for that day, and he doesn't know Atma, he doesn't know any of these things, right?
Mhm.
But still he does it. He does it just for sake of money, right? Because he need the $10, whatever it is, or 100 rupees, whatever it is, to feed his family, right? And the head, like
Yes.
you said, the head of the family, that itself becomes his duty, right? Though he doesn't, I don't think Lord Krishna there clearly. I mean, I'm not sure whether he said anything, but still, he's doing his duty to feed his family, right? That itself is right, good for him, right? He doesn't need to. He may not even read Bhagavad Gita, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yes. Perfectly there. Yeah.
but
So, as a head of the household, there are certain duties for that person. Okay. To take care of the family, to earn money, to take care of the family. As a mother, there are duties for the mother to bring up the kids, children. So yeah, they're perfectly following their duties according to what is given in the scriptures. No problem there. So there are certain things like what kind of uh, activities that I need to. I mean, let's say, should I become a teacher or become a soldier or a businessman? Right? All are duties, right? So, what should I do, right? So, if I'm choosing like to become a businessman, it's not because others are not duties, right? So, these are all the duties that are available, and I'm choosing one of the duties. What our scriptures say is that choose the duty that is in line with your with your gunas, right? So that we will not have a conflict. If my guna is to sit and study, right, in a room, and I take up a job to become a soldier, there's a conflict. I'll not be able to perform the duty. Okay. But if I choose to become a soldier, I should not be saying that, oh, I don't want to do that duty, but I want to study. I cannot say that, right? So studying is also a duty, but you're you have taken up a duty as a soldier. You have to do that properly. Someone who wants to become a professor, that becomes their duty. They now, after becoming professor, they should not go and try to, you know, uh, do things outside and forget that duty of becoming a teaching. So we need to distinguish, like, what is that I'm accepting as my duty. Is that in line with what my gunas are, not my desires? That is, unfortunately, we think of we try to select the duties based on our desires. Okay, instead of that, we have to think based on our gunas. So then there will not be a clash. So I mean, it is very difficult to in the olden days, there is every family, family traditions are there, so they automatically take up those duties. But nowadays, it's everything is open for everybody, right? I can become anything if I want to. I can become a professor, I can become a politician, I can become a soldier, I can become businessman, whatever I want, I can become. So, but each of them require different, different skills, abilities, and gunas. Primary, and we don't really think about the gunas. We only think about, can I do the activity? Can I do the activities? Yes, I can do it. Take a gun and try to participate in a war. I can probably do it. But is my guna going to support it? Unfortunately, we don't think that. But what Bhagavad Gita says is, think of the guna before you take up that activity. If you're, let us say, someone who is not interested in waking up at 4 o'clock, right? But your duty that you're selecting requires you to wake up at 4 o'clock. then it's going to be a problem.
But practice you can wake up, right? I understand it's a problem initially, right? I mean, when we start, right? Then,
Yeah.
but do practice, and after 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, right? I'm sure pretty much. Right? I think to your excellent question, right? Once you get used to it, then he's going to wake up, right? I know, I understand initially it's a challenge.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, with practice, people can change, but thing is that we try to change the duty, not our behavior, right? Oh, why should I do like that? Why can't I do like this?
Mm.
So if the duty says that you have to do a certain thing at 4 o'clock, that's what is written. That's what you need to do. I'm not interested in waking up at 4 o'clock. I'll say, okay, change it, make it 6 o'clock. That's why all the duties are getting diluted. So yeah, so I mean, as long as we are sticking to the principles and we make sure that we select the duty that is in line with our gunas, and we are following, the duty properly, doing the duty properly, no problem.
See, I mean, I don't want to, right? I mean, derail this discussion because still gunas, right? That's where probably I wasn't able to, right? Someone, yeah, I agree, right? We should change the gunas to, I mean, if you want to desire, right? You said, oh, you want to become with a desire. That's not a right, bad thing, right? I mean, I have a desire to become a doctor, and when I'm I don't know, 17, 18 years old, right? I won't even know what my guna and all those things are, right? I mean, I want to become, I mean, I might, like your point, right? I might hate, I mean, seeing animals cutting and all those things, right? Biology and zoology kind of a thing, right? And right, I can't see a blood, okay? And I'll faint when I see a blood. I agree, right? I think those kind of things, then it doesn't definitely suit that person, right? I mean, no point, I mean, right? But other side, if someone has a desire, and I think when you start, I mean, if you know that if you want to become a doctor, if you're scared of blood, you start changing the attitude, right? Slowly you need to get used to it, right? I think that way, right? I mean, you can fulfill your desire, right? Nothing wrong. I mean,
Nothing wrong. I mean, if as long as they are able to change, no problem. No problem. But so how much of that we can change is questionable, right?
And
So,
Varaprasad, I'm not sure if you remember when you were teaching Gita in the previous session, I had joined once and I had a discussion with you around, when we'd said, if you're born in that family, right? So you may necessarily not even have those gunas, right? I mean,
okay,
you might have familiarity and experience. You might have seen somebody, but just like as Badri Garu said, right? So you may not have gunas to do that. You might choose to do something else. I think now at least that's possible, right? Earlier it used to be a lot more tightly managed. So I think that's a good thing. So I also think the same way that if you have a desire, you have to cultivate the gunas. You should go by your key, main gunas if you can. But if you have a desire, and if it's not a bad thing to do.
So, I mean, that's a very, very good thing that you mentioned, because in the next few slokas, Lord Krishna answers. So why do you have the desire to become a particular, let's say, for example, doctor? Why do you have the desire? If the desire is to satisfy, because I'm going to get more money and I can enjoy and all that, that should not be done. Should not be done. Is what, because that it should not be done in the sense, we are not saying that you, I mean, Lord Krishna is not saying that you will become a bad doctor. Right? He's not saying that. You'll be very successful, you'll become a great doctor. However, we are getting bound to the karmic bondage, because the primary reason for selecting that profession is to satisfy your desires. So, any work that is primarily chosen for satisfying desires, it's going to come in the next few slokas.
So yeah,
so if you're
right.
talking about, if you're not talking about Atma and getting rid of the karmic bondage and then going to a higher level, then it's perfectly fine to do any duty, to take up any activity to satisfy the desires. Okay, and be good in that activity, whatever you are choosing. No problem there. We'll be successful also. Lord Krishna is not saying you will not be successful. However, we will be, getting into the cycle of karmic bondage only. Just like our, the Vedas provided karmic karmas, how to perform karmic karmas. Somebody who is interested in doing that can do it. And Lord Krishna very clearly said you'll acquire karmic bondage. You'll get more karmic bondage. So the confusion here is that we are only thinking about the whether I will become a good citizen, whether I will become great in my profession, whether I will be able to help other people, and only in the limited context of this particular life, right? And we don't see any problem in having desire and then satisfying. However, doing any activity with the primary purpose of satisfying the desires, it is going to give us karmic bondage only, nothing else.
So,
Okay.
Varaprasad, so for kids, right, who are in
Mhm.
high school, they're going into a profession. So I'm just like saying, where is the balance? Like for them, the motivation is very karmic, right? They have to be motivated to get a good job, be successful.
Yeah, they'll get the
Yeah.
karmic bondage. That's what he's saying, I think.
So
Right, so I'm saying
that is the problem
Yeah.
nowadays. I mean, we all went through the same thing. Nobody told us Bhagavad Gita at
So,
very early age, right? So we are used to picking up activities to satisfy our desires with the goal. Our goal is to satisfy desires. That is the reason why we pick up an activity. We want to become a particular profession, a software engineer, a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is. It is driven by our desires. I'll be able to enjoy this particular profession. I'll be able to enjoy money. I'll be able to enjoy fame. I want to become a, let us say, politician. I will get fame, right? Or I want to become a particular whatever may be the profession, right? So it is all with certain desire in mind. And I think we should read that particular sloka and see that there's nothing wrong with it. It's not saying that when there's nothing wrong with it in the sense that it is you will not be successful or you will become it is illegal, nothing like that. However, doing that is going to put us in this cycle of births and deaths
but I
only.
think Varaprasad, maybe I think you have to have a desire, but I think my right now dilemma is what's a good desire versus what's not a good desire. Because so for a student who's in high school and you tell them, right, you should do what you want to do, right? Not forcing you to become this profession or that profession just because I am familiar with that, right? So giving them full choice of doing that. Then they are choosing according to what they think they like doing. So isn't that also a desire that they would like to do that X, Y, or Z? Like even though they're choosing it themselves, I mean, knowing what they know. So I think what I'm struggling with is there is a desire, right? So is it a good desire? I mean, if you don't have desire, then we risk people not wanting to be successful doing anything, right? I have no desire.
So
I
I
can
mean,
just
there's we have to separate desire from duties. Okay. So it is my duty to serve the society. I will be able to best serve the society if I pick up this profession of becoming a doctor. Nothing wrong with it. Okay. So I have it is my duty. It is my duty to, come up with some solutions for, say, climate problem, right? So it is my duty to protect this country. Okay, in order to satisfy the duty, I mean, in order to for me to do the duty, I am going to pick up whatever profession I want. So I know it is we are very far from these principles, 100%. Okay, unless there is a chocolate in front of us, no kid is even going to run. We put a chocolate on the after 100 meters and say, oh, go and run, then they'll run and take the chocolate. If you say your duty is to run 100 meters, nobody will even move, right? So unfortunately, it has become like that because we are also like that. So parents are like that, and then families are like that, and they will see from day one it learn from others, everything like that only. All selfish motives for everybody. So then how will they learn? And this is where we need to make a change, right? Change ourselves and change. I mean, provide the knowledge to them. They will be able to pick the right thing. Now, this is a classic question that everybody says. Everybody asks. Okay, unless we have a desire, I will not do the activity, right? So, what is the desire? Is the desire selfish in nature, or is the desire is linked to your duties? Okay, if my desire is to make this society better, right? Then fine, no problem. If my desire is to have $1 million, have 5 houses and 3 cars, and enjoy, every year I need to visit 3 countries. That is all my desires, and then I have to choose activity which gives me the money to satisfy those desires. It is totally wrong. If you wrong in the sense, from the perspective of karmic bondage, I'm not talking about from the perspective of that person is doing something illegal. They have free to do. See, this is the thing. Greatness of our scriptures is everybody is free to do whatever they want, but they need to understand that some of the things they get karmic bondage, some of the things they clear the karmic bondage. So it is your choice. If you want to clear the karmic bondage, these are the principles. If you want to keep acquiring karmic bondage, have as many desires as you can, and then try to achieve them with all your effort. Those desires may not be illegal or wrong or hurting other people or anything. They could be simply like enjoyments, some comforts, enjoyments, bodily things. No problem. We are taking care of our body and family, living a happy, comfortable life, earning a lot of money. Okay, we'll live like that. Then what happens? We know, according to scriptures, we have acquired a lot of karmic bondage, and we have to face the music later, right? See, someone who is smoking for 10 years, for 10 years, they will have enjoyment, let us say. I mean, I don't know, but smoking as an enjoyment, for them, it is enjoyment. So they're enjoying. So they will have good friends and circle and partying, smoking, drinking, and all that. For them, there's nothing wrong, and there is not illegal also. But at the end of 10 years, their health is spoiled, right? So they have to suffer the consequences. Same way, throughout the life, we are doing activities which are harmful for the Atma. See, I try to give the example of smoking and drinking. Is you have the money, you have the friends, you have the enjoyment that comes with it. Smoking and drinking is not illegal. Yes, do it, but it is harmful for the body in the long run. So after X number of years, depending on the body constitution, problems will come later, right? So let's say after 10 years, they would have to face the consequences of smoking and drinking. Now, that is from a body physical health perspective. we are, no, we know that we are not body, we are Atma. And Atma is the one that is permanent, not the body. And Atma is the one that we need to take care of. And there are activities that we need to do which are good for Atma. There are activities which we should not be doing, which are harmful for Atma. If just because it is not illegal, it is motivating me to do. I mean, there are some people who say I should do all this. No, I should party every Friday, Saturdays, so that I can do well the coming week. Right? People say that. So if you are thinking that, oh, having these kind of desires will motivate me to do things in a better way, uh, yes, they will be able to do it, but they are getting karmic bondage, so they will have to face the music later. So that is the difference. There's nothing wrong in having those kind of desires and then driving it. Now what we have to teach our kids is that having choosing the activity to satisfy the selfish desires, materialistic desires, is something that we should avoid. Have the better goal, which is, yes, with that goal we get money, we can enjoy, no problem there. But don't have this bodily comforts and enjoyments as your primary goal and then do the activity. So one more thing is that when people are born in a particular family, from day one they are able to see those activities of that family is performing. So they are more likely to be in that mode direction, right? Compared to others who are not able to see from day one. So that is giving them advantage. Like somebody who is born in a family of doctors, naturally having those abilities, So I mean, there could be outliers, but more often than not, they're able to do it. And family who are born into a particular profession, like kings or politicians, they see from day one how things work in a in administration. So they will be in that direction only. So it is more often than not that they will be suitable compared to other professions that they are not aware of. So it's nothing wrong in choosing other professions, but it is something that will be in line with what they are experiencing from childhood. That is what is proposed. Like if you are a farmer's son or daughter knows from day one how trees grow, right? When they touch the sand and all that with their hands and then practice with the parents, then they're able to do it naturally. Of course, nowadays it's all machines and people may not have that. So that's why there is a problem. But when it is proposed that follow your family traditions in terms of the duties, um, that is the background behind it. That they're naturally motivated towards doing those activities because they are exposed to those activities from day one.
So may I say something?
Sure.
I know that I'm like most ignorant of all of the group, but since the question of kids came up, I just wanted to share this, that my son wanted to become an astrophysicist, and his father, he pulled up the data from the internet. See, a scientist, astrophysicist makes only this much, and so I guess my son, so from that, and he convinced it so well that now my son doesn't want to become an astrophysicist. So mostly kids, probably they know innately somehow how they can contribute to the world or to the Atma. But it is the adults around them who then try to influence their their intuition or whatever innate knowledge they have regarding them of what they need to do. in order to live like a good life as per the perspective of the parents. So
yeah, I mean,
even
so
if you don't teach them Gita at an early age, they would know that, okay, I want to do this.
I mean, we have to take it with, it's not like every kid knows by default what they want to do. Unfortunately, whatever they're exposed to, that's what they make up their mind. So it is, as parents and teachers, it's our responsibility to tell them everything, right? So what is the primary purpose that somebody is choosing a particular profession? Is it something that is in line with their, again, with going back to gunas, right? Or is it something that they're fascinated? Just fascination. Fascination is very, unfortunately, I mean, they will enjoy for a few days, and then they will have very bad rejection because they're fascinated by how it looks from outside. It looks beautiful from outside, but once you enter it, it may be a problem. So as a parents, teachers, it is our responsibility to guide them in the right direction. So there's nothing wrong in guiding. We should not just simply leave the kids whatever they want to do. That, I mean, even as adults, we are not able to choose properly because we are fascinated by the materialistic pleasures all around. We are fascinated by how people are enjoying all around. We are fascinated by, when we are more, we see our friends, they choose a particular profession, they're looking great, they're enjoying their life. So then, oh, maybe this is what I need to do. So we are, whatever we see, we are getting, even though we have a higher level of analysis compared to a small kid, we are motivated, we are getting into wrong directions. Then kids may also fall in the same trap. They may not have they may not be thinking in terms of money, right? So money may not be the criteria for them. For us, for adults, money could be the criteria. But they might have been fascinated by something that may not be true. So we have to be careful there. So as long as the duty that somebody is choosing is according to their gunas, that they are going to be successful. And the primary thing is that it is their contribution to the society, that is why they are doing it. Then no problem. And so anybody can choose any profession. If let us say that, oh, I don't care about money, even if I don't get money, I want to become an elementary school teacher, for example. I'm not saying low, right? But they're fascinated by that becoming an elementary school teacher, but they're getting paid only $20,000 per year. How many years they will be, unless they have so much motivation to continue, how many of them will continue to do it? After a few years, the 20,000 is not sufficient for them. They will simply curse throughout their life if they are not, they're not able to do that. I just realized it's 9:40. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's good discussion. Thank you so much. We'll continue to discuss this. This is very interesting, and a lot of this dilemma for us. Which profession to choose and how to choose, and what is good for me, what is good for kids, and whether we should have goals or not, whether we should have desires or not. Something that is really good discussion.
Some of the spiritual practices are also like this. They don't essentially earn any money, not much, maybe barely sufficient to just live and eat, but they still practice with diligence because of their vasanas, their samskaras and their gunas. For example, I know Ramanujadasa yoga teacher, he was told by his guru he had to live with only the money he earns with yoga practice. So, that's what he followed.
Yeah. I mean, how many people will be able to do it unless their guna supports it, as you said, right? So their guna should support it. Otherwise, if it is just fascination, then it will be difficult.
Yes.
They'll not be able to continue and try to they'll have problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you so much, Andy.
Yes.
Now let's conclude with the concluding prayer.
Ayena
Kaina vacha mansendriya karomi yajat sakalam parasmai narayana iti samarpayami. Sriman iti samarpayami. Sarvam
Shri Krishna
Krishnaarpanastu. Om Asmad Gurubhyo Namah.
Gurubhyo Namaha. Jai Shriman.
Jai Srimanarayana.
Jai
Thank you.
Sriman.
Jai Shri Manana, sir. Thank you.
Srimanarayana.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
all.
much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.